Jignesh Mevani, the Dalit leader, independent MLA from Gujarat who supports the Congress, is finally out from jail. Remember, Mr. Mevani was arrested in two different cases, and the Assam court had some very, very strong words to talk about how, if things carried on like this, then India was in danger of becoming a police state. Now, we are going to be crossing over now to talk to Jignesh Mevani, who has in fact quoted the hit thriller Pushpa to talk about how wo jhukenge nahi. Let's hear more about both the cases and his plans going forward. Remember, his arrests took place just ahead of the Gujarat elections, which are imminent. Jignesh is with us. सबसे पहले आपसे पूछूंगी कि अब आप जेल से बाहर हैं, जेल के अंदर जब आप थे, कस्टडी में जब आप थे, तो वो दिन कैसे गुजरे?
To be very honest, there was a attempt on the part of BJP by way of these efforts to basically torture me. It was the attempt to harass me, but it's also about mindset. I'm fine. I was fine in the jail as well. They couldn't harass me. It didn't affect me much. I was pretty cool, to be very honest. I was reading newspapers and whatever was available for reading.
You were pretty cool. I'm sure you were worried at some point. It got to you mentally. कुछ तो दबाव आप पे भी पड़ा होगा.
Yeah, we know these people are fascists. They don't believe in Indian constitution. They can go to any extent. So that apprehension is always there. But I knew there is no prima facie case against me. The tweet that I did is not having ingredients to attract an FIR. This I know as a lawyer as well. So there was no prima facie case against me. So I knew that sooner or later I will come out.
Let's take a look at this tweet. You appealed for social harmony and peace, लेकिन आपने इस tweet में प्रधानमंत्री को नथुराम गोडसे का समर्थक बताया. You called the Prime Minister a Godse supporter. Now, while there are certainly people in his party and MPs included who have in the past praised Godse, there is no evidence that the Prime Minister had done this. To that extent, do you regret your tweet?
No, not at all. I know what his ideology is. He does believe in Godse and Savarkar. He does believe in hate and violence. We know that. I'm not regretting. I'm not taking it back at all. I know it. And even if he doesn't like it, even if it is it's an adjective he's uncomfortable with, where comes the FIR? It doesn't make an FIR.
But do you think your language was...
Isn't BJP people, aren't BJP and RSS people through their IT cells all the time doing campaign pro Godse? Godse Jindabad ko Twitter pe trend karwate hai ye log. Is Prime Minister of India not aware of it? If his party, if his police is aware of my tweet, are they not aware of it?
But is what supporters of the BJP do the same as what the Prime Minister is accountable for, Jignesh?
Prime Minister also is faith in Godse. I know that. I also come from Gujarat. And if he's not having लाल किले की प्राचीर से एक बार बोल दे गोडसे मुर्दाबाद, बात खत्म.
नहीं, पर आप
प्रवक्ताओं को बोले कि आज जब न्यूज़ चैनल्स में डिबेट हो तो गोडसे मुर्दाबाद बोल दे, क्लैरिफाई हो जाएगा.
पर आपका ये कहना कि प्रधानमंत्री स्वयं गोडसे के सपोर्टर हैं, आज अपने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आपने बोला that Godse supporters in the Prime Minister's office are behind this.
Yeah.
What is the proof that you have that they are Godse supporters? I know the various individual members of the BJP.
RSS and BJP have always held the ideology of Godse, Savarkar. Mr. Modi is part of that group. Period.
So you do not take back the language of your tweet. आप उसको वापस नहीं लेंगे, ना लेते हैं.
It is just a question of one adjective. That's fine. They say BJP, RSS people say thousands of things against me on social media, on Twitter. I'll be joining Congress party very soon, right? We have governments in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra. Can't I go to one police station and file a case of criminal defamation? I can't do that. I will not do it. That's not me. This liberty is fine. It happens. It's a democracy. One should not be so much affected with such adjectives. That's okay. Relax. We have better things to focus on. There have been 22 paper leaks, as I pointed out in today's press conference. Why no action is taken? One woman activist from BJP has made an allegation against the BJP minister of rape. No action is taken. BJP is having communal startups to target female journalists on social media, on Twitter particularly. Never any action is taken. These questions should be bothering us. Goli baro salo ko somebody said publicly. No action is taken. No remorse. Prime Minister of India, BJP people never appeal to the people of India. Not to indulge into such stuff. Never.
You at
That
your
tells
press
everything, Barkha.
अच्छा मुझे ये बताइए आज आपने अपनी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में you used a phrase, you said 56 inches of cowardice. You are
Yeah.
holding the prime minister directly responsible, one, for what has happened to you. Secondly, you said you have also referenced Pushpa, the movie, the cult hit, by saying jhukega nahi. So talk a little bit about these two things, these two references, 56 inches of cowardice and the Pushpa move. Talk a little bit
Yeah,
about this.
the way they have used these women officers to file such a completely false and frivolous FIR against me. ये कायरता नहीं तो क्या है? और असम की जुडिशरी ये कह रही है. The bail order says the intention on the part of the Assam Police to file this FIR through this woman police officer against accused Jignesh Mevani was to keep him illegally detained for longer period, meaning it is well designed. It's a pre-planned conspiracy. That is what Assam's judiciary is also smelling. The words that they've used are very, very serious. They are saying the FIR is not maintainable. 2, FIR is false. 3, FIR is filed with malafide intention. 4, FIR is frivolous. And with every passing day, with this kind of approach, we are turning Assam into Assam police state, which is so serious. People have been killed right now in Assam in extrajudicial killings. This is blatant disregard to our idea of India. Is this the society we can go ahead with? Isn't it blatant disregard to rule of law? Isn't it the greatest insult of Indian constitution?
What
ढाई
happens
हजार
now?
किलोमीटर दूर एमएलए बैठा है, आप उसके ऊपर एफआईआर करो, उसके रिमांड मांगो 14 दिन के. As if I'm some gangster, as if I'm some terrorist. They went to my house, रेड किया वहां पर, एमएलए क्वार्टर पे रेड किया, मेरे ऑफिस पे रेड किया, टीम के बंदूक के घर गए, मोबाइल लिए, लैपटॉप्स लिया, कंप्यूटर लिया, और जो मेरे टीम के लोग घर पे नहीं मिले, उनके माता पिता के मोबाइल भी ले लिए. Can you believe this? Under what charges? What's going on? And we are living into the times of Pegasus, where there is an allegation on Modi government that they have planted something into the mobiles of few journalists, activists from the leader of opposition. Shouldn't I have this apprehension? Posing a question here to myself and for everyone, that shouldn't I have this apprehension that they may have planted something already? This is so serious. And if you can do this with a sitting act, what would we can imagine what to what extent they can go brazen when it involves an ordinary citizen.
So you are worried that your phone, which has been confiscated, उस पे भी आपको लगता है कि हो सकता है कुछ प्लांट किया जाए, आप ये आरोप लगा रहे हैं.
मेरे कंप्यूटर में, मेरे मोबाइल में, मेरे टीम के लोगों के डिवाइसेस में, these people can go to any extent if they can file such frivolous FIRs against me with malafide intention. They can go to any extent. That's what we have seen. That's what we've seen. What came out of the entire Pegasus story was the same thing. That they have definitely targeted people in this country.
Why are they so scared of you? You are in. Yes, you are. You have your own following. You're from the.
They see me as a serious. They see me as a serious enemy in longer run, because I just not counter BJP, I counter RSS as well ideologically. I am not made just for winning and contesting elections. I have ideological foundation, which BJP is seriously afraid of. And they know they can't, even after doing some bit of arm twisting, I will not compromise with them. They know it. And secondly, the Gujarat elections are also coming. And third and most importantly, it is just attitude. It has become the attitude and mindset of the BJP RSS people that they can't tolerate any voice of dissent. Dhaval Patel, a journalist from Gujarat, He raised some issue, charged under sedition. हार्दिक पटेल चार्ज अंडर सेडिशन, कन्हैया राष्ट्रद्रोही बोल दो, चंद्रशेखर जेल में डाल दिया, जर्नलिस्ट कितने भी पत्रकारों को टारगेट, एक्टिविस्टों को टारगेट, डॉक्टर भीमराव अम्बेडकर अम्बेडकर के परिवार के दामाद आनंद तेलतुंबड़े को जेल में डाल. So these people can't tolerate voices of dissent because they don't believe in democracy, because they don't believe in rule of law and constitution.
You know, I feel what's happened with you is, of course, a subversion of the law. लेकिन अगर आप देखें तो सारे ही राजनीतिक दल आजकल ये करते हैं. आप महाराष्ट्र में देख लीजिए, जहां पर आप कांग्रेस को सपोर्ट करते हैं, गठबंधन में उनकी सरकार है, वहां पर मुख्यमंत्री के घर के निवास के बाहर कोई हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ने को बैठे आप ही के जैसे इंडिपेंडेंट एमएलए जो बीजेपी को सपोर्ट करते हैं, उनके खिलाफ सेडिशन डाल दिया. सो डू यू फील एज अ लॉयर एंड एन एक्टिविस्ट दैट द लॉ इज नाउ बीइंग यूज्ड बाय पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज एंड द स्टेट पुलिस फोर्सेस टू स्टाइफल political opponents?
Undoubtedly. And I'm absolutely against it. This has to stop.
So you feel what
Whether
happened
the party is
in
X,
हाँ, महाराष्ट्र में
whether
जो
the
हुआ,
party is,
महाराष्ट्र में जो हुआ वो भी गलत है.
I have not gone into the facts of that case. I was in jail, as you know, but you know, on the face of it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
The mindset of, you know, booking people under sedition is a very feudal, colonial kind of mentality. You should get out.
Yeah.
Everybody is right to criticize people. I am an MLA. People from my constituency, from the adjoining blocks, people from Gujarat, people from media, the activist fraternity people, everybody has the right to say things against me, which I may not like, which may not be healthy as well. Doesn't mean we file FIRs. Doesn't mean we go to the extent of filing, booking them under sedition. I am totally against it.
I'm glad you've said that. आपने हार्दिक पटेल का रेफरेंस दिया. हार्दिक पटेल, while you were in custody, हार्दिक पटेल का जो बयान था praising the BJP, speculation has started that Hardik Patel will join the BJP or could leave the Congress. I asked you this क्योंकि एक समय था दो साल पहले शायद जब आप ठाकुर और हार्दिक पटेल were seen as the young Turks of Gujarat. आपको कैसे मालूम है कि नहीं होगा?
I know him. He will not join BJP. He's with us. And we'll fight it together. When I'm going to Ahmedabad tomorrow, he'll be there to receive me.
Why do you think he praised the BJP? क्यों लगता है आपको किया उन्होंने प्रशंसा बीजेपी?
Where did he praise BJP? कहाँ पर प्रेस किया?
मतलब उनको थोड़ा एंजाइटी है कांग्रेस जिस तरह से मैनेज हो रही है गुजरात में, and there is some anxiety clearly that has come out there, right?
देखिए, let me say frankly to you.
हाँ.
When the elections will be there in Gujarat, around that period, I'll be joining Congress party. I'm saying this proactively, that there will be a point where I may not be comfortable with the party. Things may not go my way. There could be people, politics is also part of life. There are ego clashes, there is jealousy, there are higher ups, you know, there are things you're not comfortable with, things don't go your way. That's part of life. You should be prepared. और कभी आपके मुंह से थोड़ा एग्रेसिव स्टेटमेंट पार्टी के लिए निकल भी जाता है, वो भी फर्क ही नहीं. ठीक है, होता है, सब चलता है.
पर आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं कि हार्दिक नहीं जाएंगे दूसरी तरफ?
या आई एम प्रीटी श्योर.
एक गुजरात के और भी नेता
मोदी जी मनुस्मृति का साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे और हार्दिक कांग्रेस का साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे.
चलिए चुनाव तक देखते हैं. एक और भी दिग्गज नेता हैं गुजरात के, शंकर सिंह वाघेला, मुख्यमंत्री रह चुके हैं. वो कांग्रेस को सपोर्ट देना चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो कहते हैं राहुल गांधी समझ नहीं पाते कि पॉलिटिक्स इज अ लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म. तो गुजरात के चुनाव आने वाले हैं, कैसे आप लोग सब ये बीजेपी का जो जगरनॉट है, हाउ विल यू स्टॉप इट?
There is no option but to fight it out, raising the right kind of issues that people of Gujarat are facing. There is serious water crisis in Gujarat, particularly North Gujarat. Will be taking up that course. सारे सरकारी पदों में भर्ती हो सकती है, सरकार नहीं कर रही, will raise that issue. Dalits and minority tribals are tortured like always. Will take up those cases. So जो गुजरात की जनता के सच्चे और असली सवाल है, उसी को उठाते रहना, लगातार उठाना, वही एक विपक्ष का सच्चा रोल है. उस रोल को, उस कर्तव्य का हम लोग निभाएं.
मेरा एक आखिरी सवाल है, ये जो यू आर अ लॉयर, आप काफी अवतार जैसे हैं जिग्नेश मेवानी की हम देख चुके हैं, आप पत्रकार रह चुके हैं, वकील रह चुके हैं और अब आप नेता हैं। ये जो दो केस आपके खिलाफ हैं, आप बाहर हैं, बेल पर बाहर हैं, इन केसेस का होगा क्या? इसको मतलब आपकी एनर्जी भी तो जाएगी इनको फाइट करने में।
My energy is meant to fight. No issue.
Are you
No issue.
confident?
And
Are you
this cases cannot stand legally. They're completely false and frivolous FIRs. Where is the prima facie case? Where are the required ingredients to accept an FIR? Where is the
what is
FIR?
the
Asking the Prime Minister of India to maintain peace and public, it's not an offense. The adjective that I have used, he may be uncomfortable with them. So what? It's not an offense.
What is the one thing that you learnt in jail? You said you were quite cool, पर कुछ आपने देखा हो, सुना हो, सीखा हो? इतनी देर आप रहे
I
नहीं अंदर, फिर भी।
I was the way Ambedkarite groups, Dalit groups from across India, and particularly from Gujarat, the way they stood by me, the way they were like doing rallies and protests and agitations, it was so good to see that. And they did it because maybe आधी रात गुजरात के गरीब वंचित तबकों के लिए खड़ा, and they know it. The same way कांग्रेस पार्टी ने भी तगड़ा मैसेज दिया कि कांग्रेस के किसी भी नेता कार्यकर्ता के साथ इस प्रकार का टॉर्चर होगा, we will fight as a unit. The PCC president of Gujarat, Rahul Gandhi's office, battery of lawyers, the Barpeta और कोकराझार जिले के कांग्रेस के डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट्स, कांग्रेस के भूपेन कुमार बोरा जी जो वहां का असम के प्रेसिडेंट है, सॉलिडली। तो ये देखकर बहुत सुकून मिला, अच्छा लगा कि कांग्रेस पार्टी, जनता दोनों मेरे लिए लड़ रहे हैं। अब मैं जब बाहर हूं तो मैं दोबारा पार्टी को मजबूत करूंगा, जनता को, and that's how it should be.
Well, the elections are not so far away, Jignesh, and the irony is कि आपको शायद बंद करके एक national headline तो बना ही दिया है। ये irony होती है politics की। Thank you so much, and we look forward to following your campaign on the ground in Gujarat. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalists.